All right, folks, welcome back. This is another tutorial with the Marble Maze project. And the next step that we need to look at is we need to we're going to laser cut out a piece of acrylic, which is plastic, and we're just going to go on top of this here. So the marble will get dropped in here and fall out here. So we want to make sure that we put 3mm holes for the bolts. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's start by creating a sketch. What we're going to do is we're going to create a sketch on top of this surface. Now let's look in perpendicular. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a very random square. Now we want this square to line up with the outside of our box. So let's take this point and let's take this point and line them up horizontally. Let's take that point and this point, line them up vertically. So now this piece of acrylic will rest over the top of the wooden part as well as the top of the marble maze. We're going to have to do the same down here. So let's pull this down a little bit. We want to make sure that this point and this point line up horizontally, and then this point and this point line up vertically. Okay. So far, so good. What we do want to do is we want to put a hole here, and we want to make sure that that is diameter 3, because we're going to put a bolt in here. And you can see this extra here. So this black line here will represent a hole in the acrylic. And then as the bolt goes into this hole, it'll create threads in this space here. So let's do that to all 4 of these holes. I'm pressing C on the keyboard, shortcut for circle. D is shortcut for dimension. We got 2 more. We got 1 down here. This one's not exactly in the corner, but you know, it'll do. It's close enough. And then we got 1 more over here. Let's put a circle here. Dimension 3. Okay, that's looking good. So those 4 holes will be for 4 bolts to bolt and secure the piece of acrylic down. What we also need is we need a hole over here to be able to drop the marble down. So let's do a diameter 16, and look at that, it's slightly off. What's going on here? We can make this line tangential. And then that is lining up well with that. I'm not super stoked about that. For just like that. That'll do. Okay. And that is literally going to be all you need to do for that piece of acrylic. What I am going to do is on this sketch 4, I am going to rename this acrylic. And then this here, we need to export this. So let's export this as a DXF. And now let's open up, let's bring over Lightburn. Okay, take this, bring it over here to laser cut out. And we're going to need to change this to be red for a full cut. Cool beans. Now see the start we got here? I think I'll be better engraved into the acrylic because this here is going to be covered up by our 3D printed part. So that'll do right there. Okay, and now all that's left to do will be to laser cut out this from the acrylic, laser cut out these pieces from the MDF, 3D print our maze, and assemble them all together. Okay, I'm super stoked for this. Make sure to show me your work before you move on, before you go laser cutting. And I'm super stoked to see your work. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.